Today we're checking out the S&B Cold Air Intake with the Oiled Cleanable Cotton Filter for the 2019 and newer 6.2 liter Sierra 1500s. If you're looking to boost airflow, enhance performance, and add lifespan to your factory air system with a reliable, serviceable upgrade, this cold air intake is definitely worth checking out. This intake is engineered to deliver serious performance gains by significantly increasing your airflow compared to the stock setup while still maintaining 99% filtration efficiency, a rare balance of power and protection. Its massive oiled cotton filter is not only highly efficient at trapping contaminants, but also cleanable and reusable, making long-term maintenance simple and cost-effective. The system features a fully enclosed air box that shields the filter from heat and airborne debris, while the clear lid lets you visually inspect the filter's condition in just seconds with no disassembly needed. A silicone trim snap lid ensures an airtight seal and maintenance ease, further backed by a premium silicone couplers and components that withstand extremely high temperatures without cracking or fading over time. When it comes to the construction, these are proudly made in the USA, and the intake's airbox is built from durable, roto-molded plastic for strength and thermal resistance. It also meets rigorous testing standards for airflow and filtration, on par and even exceeding the OEM benchmarks. As far as pricing goes on this, it's coming in right around that $400 price range. Considering the performance gains, the lifetime filter potential, and the rugged build quality, it offers solid value for a long-term upgrade. This is going to be a straightforward installation process, rated just at 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, and you can have this installed in just 1 hour of your time. Now let's see exactly how this install process goes with a video from one of our AmericanTrucks customers.
All right, so the tools needed for the S&B Cold Air Intake install on a 6.2 liter V8 or 5.3 liter V8 Chevy Silverado are as follows. I used a 10 millimeter wrench, 3/8 ratchet. I did have an extender, 6 inches. I used 10 millimeter sockets. I used a short and a long. 13 millimeter sockets, again, another short and long. A 1/4 ratchet wrench with a extended 1/4 socket. I used a T10 and a T15 torch screwdriver or bits, as well as a flathead and a Phillips. I was able to install those onto my screwdriver. I used a ratchet one personally. I think it's much more useful. Mine actually extends as well. Highly recommend it to get into tight places. A 4 millimeter Allen wrench. I used a small flathead screwdriver just to open some of the clips that were a little difficult. A clip remover tool. You can also use this flathead screwdriver in place of the clip removal tool. A pair of sharp scissors or shears just to cut out the excess zip ties. And then I used an adjustable wrench. I believe you can also use a 19 millimeter really deep socket or wrench for the intake as well. And as mentioned earlier, depending on your height, I would highly recommend a ladder of some sort or some sort of step stool, just depending how tall you are or how lifted your truck is. The first thing you're going to want to do is take out these clips. You're going to see them all throughout here. A couple options to do it. You can either use a clip removal tool. So you're going to lift up the individual one. The one pops up and the whole thing comes out. So you can see, press it in, pull it out, pops out completely. Shoot it out all around the entire of the truck. Make sure to save these because these are important later when you put this back together. You're going to see they're all around. I think it's a total of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 total. see that it has like a little bit of a lip for it. You can also twist them while they're in there if it makes it easier to access the clip to remove it. Here's my last one. I'm gonna put these somewhere really safe so I don't lose them for later. Next, you got to remove the latch. So it's actually going to be a torque screw, a T10. You have 2 screws on top. Once you remove both screws, this latch comes right out. Again, save these somewhere really safe. You don't want to lose these. Once you have that complete, you can literally just pick up the cover. And now you have access to essentially the stock cold air intake pipe where the air flow comes into the current air filter box. All right, once you have the cover off, you're gonna see there's a little clip here as well. Remove that clip, pop it out completely. Now you'll see this is gonna come out just a little bit. According to the instructions, all you gotta do is just pull it out a little bit. You may see over here, it's where it's connected to the actual box. You just need to remove it a little bit so when we take this apart, you have the wiggle room to pull it out. So again, save this somewhere safe. To note, it is a different looking clip. The one for this tube is slightly different. Okay, up next, you're gonna wanna remove the sensor. There is a clip back here. Looks a little tricky. I found it best if I just use a small screwdriver. And really, you're gonna put where the black part is, you're gonna push in, it'll unclip, and you pick it out. Now you're ready to start taking off the original air box. So you're gonna have a clamp here, flathead screwdriver. Just twist it enough to get it loose. I personally like the extendable ones. They help, especially if you're in a big truck like this. You're gonna see the other one's gonna be back here. So let's see if I can get around. Right back there, you can probably see. Again, just enough to give it a shake off. Also a hose back here that you got to remove. So I'm going to come around and show you guys. So if you see it right here with that gray. So from here you're going to pull it, press, and remove. Press those 2 gray clips together. It'll come right off that hose. And then really at this point, you can also remove your mass airflow sensor at this point. So red little clip, pull it forward, press down. All right, let's continue removing. I'm going to loosen it just a little bit more. Get it really nice and loose, but still connected. All right, once you loosen the clamp, you're going to remove this. Make sure it's also loose back here, the intake manifold. You'll see it'll get pretty loose. What you got to do is pull it vertically to like 90 degrees, because there's a bracket right here by the alternator. Pull it towards the passenger side. That is the bracket right here that I was talking about. So it's sitting on there. You lift it up, pull it towards the passenger side. So you got that part out. This sensor is loose. You're gonna see a 10mm right here. That's our next step. Have your ratchet at 3/8 with an extension. And this whole nut's going to come out. Now it's time to take the air box out. Little tip is make sure this is kind of out of the way. Make sure you don't damage that. Make sure that we removed earlier the Valiant cover that this is detached from the box down here. These wires have some clips in them. It looks like I gotta remove those. Break right here. You're going to see this hose right here is actually what's causing it to stay kind of stuck in there. So I'm going to just remove this. There's a red clip. Pull it up. Disregard that. What you got to do is pull it up. And from the front, being mindful of this. This tube, pull out a little bit more so you have as much clearance as possible. Do that. Pull it from the back. It's really these prongs that are stuck in these two holes, so you almost have to like pull it forward and then up and out. Now your entire cabin box is out. All right, next we are ready to build our cold air intake box. So the first thing we're going to do in the kit, you're going to see it came with a screw as well as this little harness clip, and this is going to be for the sensor that we removed earlier, if you remember. For visual perspectives, this is the top. This is how it will look inside of your truck. So filter going this way. And by the way, this filter, absolutely massive. I'm obsessed with it. Absolutely huge, wonderful filter. Really excited to have this on the truck. Perfect. So. believe this is a 4mm Allen wrench. Yes, it is. So 4mm Allen wrench. Get it in there nice and tight. No need to over tighten it. It is a bunch of plastic pieces, so once it's nice and snug, you're good to go. Next, you're gonna have a grommet. You're gonna have a couple grommets that come with this, but the one you're looking for here is this one right here. And that is gonna go in here. We'll say you're gonna want the side pretty even actually on both sides. So the trick I find is to pinch it. You work your way in, apply pressure from the outside. Holding it from the inside is pretty helpful as well. Making sure it is fully secured and flush. Beautiful. Next, you will see, I mentioned earlier, on the one inside the truck, the two divots that were pretty hard to get out. This is the covers for these, so the ones on the previous one you do not need, but I'm just going to slide those on. The instructions did come with 2 screws, and it is recommended that you then screw these on just for additional support, especially when it comes to removing it maybe in the future. I did notice when I removed mine, my stock one, these fell out, so it's just nice to have them nice and tight in there, so you can really just add some pressure. I'm going to screw it in just a little bit more, so it sticks out that way. A little bit of leverage, so apply the pressure in. Make sure you get it all the way. Whatever works. And you'll hear just a little bit extra. Get it going. I'm going to pause because of this rain. Alright, we are back at it here in sunny Central Florida, so intermediate storms in and out, but not going to stop us from completing our cold air intake install. Where I left off, make sure you put those 2 screws over it. I like to tighten it just a little extra, so there's no metal-on-metal contact when you are putting it into your truck. Our next step is installing these rubber plates. This one is optional. I'm going to put it on personally for my truck, but you can leave it exposed if you want more airflow or more access into it. Personally, since it's going to be connected to the tube in the front that's going to pull cold air from the front of the motor, the front of the engine bay, as well as the top over here, these scoops, I'm going to be good. Make sure you have it so the S&B logo is facing in the right direction, and you will see this is the side that's going to go in to the actual air box. I want to work that in little by little. Make sure you just get it right in the center. Work it from the inside as well. Puts it in. You will see it is perfectly covered on the inside. Let's double check it and make it from there. Awesome. And next one is going to be the one that's going to connect to that plastic pipe as well. Same deal, you're going to want this inside, that's going to go on the inside. So work a corner. Working it, make sure the lip. Give it a look from the inside, make sure it's looking good from the inside as well. Perfect. Probably, I'm not sure if you can see too well from the inside, but making sure that both of these are looking good from there. Next is going to be top. As I mentioned, this is what it will look like inside of your motor, just like this. So we're going to put this cover right in here. I think it's pretty cool. It comes with an S&B plastic, so find a corner. In the corner, you're going to go ahead and feel that. Trash. I think I mentioned your nice S&B logo here as well. So you're going to find this slit on the inside of this. You're just going to work this around it. I think it's a really nice touch. It's a fully enclosed box. But it does have the ability. It's clear piece of plastic that lets you see inside of it. It goes in nice and smooth, looking real good. We'll go ahead and grab the box. And I'm going to start in the corner. And again, this side was the side that's going to go in. You'll see. Working it around this corner. Make sure from the inside good. That is all nice and sealed. Definitely going to want to grab a cloth and get your fingerprints off of that once you were done. Perfect. Finding it helpful to put my hand on the inside and apply pressure towards the seam. And you are complete. Here's the correct part. All right, next we're going to grab our mass airflow sensor. Out of our stock intake, you are going to need a corkscrew, specifically a T15. To remove that, you're going to want to be real careful to not damage the mass airflow sensor. They are very delicate. T15, again, it's just 2 easy screws. You're going to pull that out and put this somewhere very safe. We are not done with this. Grab your pipe. We're going to grab this fitting. This fitting is going to turn in. You're going to twist it on right here, on this side right here. Go ahead and get that as tight as you can with your hands. And then it's supposed to be a 19 millimeter wrench. I unfortunately do not have one, so I'm going to be very careful with an adjustable wrench just to get it a little tighter. Just be very careful. It is plastic on plastic, so No need to over tighten, just once you get it nice and snug. I'm about to feel it right there. You're good to go. The mass airflow sensor is going to go right here. It does come with a bracket and 2 new screws, so you do not need your old screws. What you're going to do is you're going to measure it, line it up. You are going to put this bracket over the mass airflow sensor. Make sure you line it up correctly, like I just did. Then you'll put this rubber trim over it. You can easily slide that on right in here. For this one, you're going to need a Phillips head. Highly recommend, if I haven't said already, a adjustable ratchet screwdriver. Very versatile. Great. Right. Make sure we're lined up here. Make sure you're doing it the correct side. It will only go in one direction, so if you do the same mistake I did, don't sweat it. You will be able to flip it around and know what the correct side's going to be. Make sure you get those nice and tight. No need to over tighten again, but just once you feel it, be snug. We're going to put this to the side for now. Next, you're going to have your new PCB piping. You're going to have these two pieces. They're going to replace what you had on the truck. Easy way to do it is just make sure you put these clamps on first. Also make sure you have the screws in the same direction. It's going to be a lot easier in the future. Put these on. And then I'm going to slide these guys on. I'm going to leave them a little loose for now. You'll see why a little later. It's going to be easier to adjust them inside the truck once I know the depth that I need, the angle, and then you can push them in all the way. Alrighty. At this point, we are ready to go back to our engine bay and get this intake installed. Everybody, it's time to install the cold air intake in here. I will say this is a really tight fit. So I'm going to try to take this bracket off, see if it helps. Looks like it's just a 13mm socket. You can move it with. So let's see if this helps and gives me any kind of clearance that I need. One bolt, 2 bolts. So they are pretty tight on there. Careful not to slip. Move that out the way, and hoping that gives me the clearance that I need. go. Some of those grommets in the back. Two little holes for them. And you keep in mind that rubber grommet that we put on the other side, that's where that bolt's going to go over, so you have to align it perfectly with that as well. It is a very snug, tight fit, guys, but once you get it in the back, you're really going to want to push it in. You'll see the two holes in the back like I showed you guys earlier, and then that screw that's there. Once you got that going, you now grab this, and this is your brand new clip. I put it under that wire just to hold it temporarily. Make sure you bring it right back out. This now slide over here. I do like about it is it's just a slide on, so there's nothing extreme with it. But now grab this, get over. Make sure to get this right back where it needs to go. Okay, guys, put this back where it needs to go. This is what holds the radiator. So super important to keep these screws back on so everything is nice and where it needs to be. I'm going to start with one. And the other. Keep in mind, you will need to move the intake, so pretty important that you get these screws back on beforehand. At least have the wiggle room that you need. Go ahead and grab a smaller 13. This one's definitely much tighter, but you do have enough room. Or if you have a ratcheting wrench as well, that may be your best option. But I will say, I highly recommend removing this bar. It's very, very, very tight fit and difficult to get this box in there without with the extra space. It truly helps. Nice and tight. That one is important that it is nice and tight. Next, you're going to want to get that 10mm hex nut that we removed earlier. Install it back in. Make sure the intake isn't all the way, making contact. You can't really see it on camera, That is where that grommet was. I'm gonna try to feel in around for it. Like I mentioned, we're gonna get that 10mm in here. You can't really see it on camera, but you can feel it. Try to reach in here. Depending on how big your truck is, you may need a ladder. For reference, mine is a Bison. It's got a 2-inch lift on 33s. I'm 6'3", that gives you any reference. And I can barely reach this, I will tell you that. I'm gonna go grab a wrench, 10mm. Before I try the wrench, I'm gonna try getting a ratchet on it. I'm not sure if it'll fit. I mentioned, nope, a ratchet is way too thick, so your best bet is using a wrench. Or if you have a ratchet wrench or a ratchet S wrench, that is probably the best case. I unfortunately do not have one, so this will take me quite some time to try to do as much as you can with your finger, but again, you can only do so much. Okay guys, I'm going to try a ladder, see if this helps. Like I'll say, it is pretty hard to see. Pretty hard to see in here. Fortunately for me, I have steel bumpers, so I can stand on this too. But not as helpful as I thought. Yes, I highly recommend a ladder. Able to use my left hand. Honestly, I'm able to twist it pretty much all the way tight with just my hand. Safe measure. A little bit with the wrench. Pretty tight. Leave the ladder here. I may need it again, just based on how big this truck is. So we may be using that soon. Something else I want to mention is at this point, you can really push back in this pipe that you have here. You can just push it and it slides right in. I'll show you guys. So this pipe, you can see it in here. You can just push it through until it locks into that rubber gasket. Your next step is you're gonna grab your filter. Then I will make it somewhere where this belt is accessible. Not the belt, the clamp. It's pretty easily accessible. Pick whatever side you want. You'll also notice that there is a lip here in which when you install, you'll need to make sure you work that in. So, push that in everywhere. It's nice. Next, you're gonna find you had two of these. You're gonna find the one that fits your manifold. I'm gonna assume one of them is for the 5.3 and one for the 6.2 liter. This is the 6.2 liter. Actually, this is too big. So, let's grab the other one. guys incorrect. I had it the opposite direction. One is bigger than the other, but yes. The one I had previously was the one that fits. And being mindful of when you put where you put these clamps, so they're just easily accessible to tighten. Get this over your manifold. You don't have to use a ratchet. I personally just like using a flathead. It's really a preference. Just a tool I already have on hand, so it's just easy to grab it. Make sure you're pretty vigilant as to where you leave this, so it's just accessible if and when you ever have to remove it. You do want to make sure this is pretty nice and snug. You don't want anything outside of the filtered air to come into the intake. We're going to make that nice and tight. Alright, nice and snug. Grab the other clamp. Let's put it over for now. Temporarily. Grab our tube. So that one's all there. This one's all there. Get them all nice and aligned. It's time to tighten them. I'm going to start with this one here. Extremely crucial. Again, big truck. Make sure you're looking when you realize that this entire tube is in, not just some of it. Tight. Probably a better angle coming this way. There we go. You're going to want to make sure it's snug 360 degrees. I'm going to go ahead and take this opportunity to move this into a spot that's a bit easier for me to tighten to. Again, you want it nice and tight. Come back to your ink manifold, and you're going to do the same thing. Just like this. And you'll make sure it's nice and flush. tight. Should be able to tug. Nothing come out. Perfect, looking good. Guys, something else we're going to take off is this old bracket where the old one was at. It's a 10 millimeter. Right here. You'll see it. It's pretty loose actually already. Not sure why. I have not touched this. But once you get it going, you can loosen it by hand. Just be real careful to not drop it into your engine bay. And really, this comes off at this point. There are 2 clips on here, which I'm gonna just try to use my tool remover to get them out. Leverage here. I think you can probably even cut these off. One. And there's 2. Pretty sure you can cut those off. I'm gonna wait till the end. I don't recall seeing any of the instructions about leaving them on or needing for future aftermarket parts for this. So I am going to hold them for now. Afterwards, I will cut them off. This is what it looks like. And at this point, this is really trash. Next, you remove your old pipe. You can actually twist this into whatever direction you want to make it easier to access this gray clip right here. You can push in, and it comes right out. There's the old one. As far as the new one goes, you are going to, at this point, let's get it going. I'm gonna just pre-tighten these clamps just because they're really big right now at the moment. You'll see, just to get them a little smaller, so by the time they're in place, they're just not as it's not as much turning to get it tight. I mentioned earlier, definitely going to want to tighten these clamps before putting it on there, just so you're in a more comfortable spot. When it's time to actually tighten them on the actual hose. So you're going to get them pretty, I will say these clamps are very big for this hose. I wish it would have came with smaller ones. All right, I got tired of using the screwdriver, so I got a ratchet. It's actually going to be a quarter, so a 1/4. And this is what you can use. It's going to go by way faster than a screwdriver. I don't mind a screwdriver when it's just a small tighten, because typically it has more leverage or can fit in the spaces better. But when it comes to something like this, you're going to definitely want to speed things up by using a ratchet. All right. Once you have those nice and tightened, you're going to push them in all the way. So now this one will go here. Make sure you push it in till you hear a click. We will put our clamp all the way over here. Now let's give a final tighten. Make sure you have no escaped air. Perfect. Nice and tight. Beautiful. I want to come over here. This is going to go in. You're going to hear that one click. And same deal with this. I'll loosen this a little bit because the tightening is just a bit much. Just enough to get it over the hose. Again, I make sure it's nice and tight. A couple more for good luck. Pretty good there. Okay, I'm actually going to be removing these because I think I just realized after cross-referencing the instructions that I put them in backwards. That one goes into the intake, the one that has an 8. I don't think it really matters because they're the same exact size. I think it's more of a convenience. So just to play it safe, do the exact same thing as the instructions. Let's put that in there. That one there. Now we are good to retighten these. Tight. Right, make sure they're in, they click correctly. Perfect. Alright, last thing we're going to do is this cold air intake. We have this new extension wire. You're going to want to put it in, put this side in, so we hear it click. Make sure it's nice and tight. Now what we recommend to do is put it under, so it doesn't get stuck in the fan blade. And I connect these here. Here we go. Make sure you get it. Lock the red tab that's there. And we're going to work this one around. We're right. Just here. Now. Get pretty much some of these zip ties, which have the little prongs stuck into them. There's actually one on the back side of this. You can't see it on camera right now. I'll show you. You will see it right there. And then there is one tiny hole around there. So, let's zoom this back out. Leave it a little loose before you measure where you want it. You find that hole back here, and you will push it in. You're here to click. You do the same thing for over here. Like this. The other way. Cleaner fit. Push this through here. Now that you have your sensors where you need them, you can kind of organize it however you want so they're out of the way, and then you can tighten it. Now, it's tight. Looking good. For a clean look, highly recommend grabbing a pair of scissors and just chopping off the excess. At this point, the insole is actually finally complete. I'm going to give this one last good clean, make sure no fingerprints or anything else in debris, because it does look really good seeing that red filter in there. All right, we're in the final stretches, so really putting everything back together. Remember this very distinctive looking clip? That's the one that goes for the filter here. So I'm going to want to pop that out, push it in. Okay, have this clip, push it back in here. That's solid. Grab your cover, put it on. You're gonna grab all 10 of your clips, put them in again. Makes it easy if you pop them out like this. Put them in, squish them in. I like to do different sides first. Sorry, I dropped one on the floor. I had to go get it under the truck. There we go. Sometimes you get a little stuck, so you can use your tool to pop it back out. Makes it way easier. And using your fingernails, completely up to you. Just really depends how worn the clips are. If they're a little worn, like you've taken this cover off a lot, then they open much easier than if they're brand new. All right, number 10. Last but not least, your hood latch. Slide that on. You're gonna grab your 2 bolts from We're going to be sample somewhere safe and a T10 corkscrew. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, that's gonna do it for my review and install of the S&B Cold Air Intake with an oiled cleanable cotton filter for the 2019 and newer 6.2 liter Sierra 1500s. And for all things Sierra, keep it right here at American Trucks.